performance for the camera. Someone is thinking about you the way you think about someone you actually care about, with hope, with nervousness, with the quiet wish that maybe, just maybe, they feel the same way back. Oh, why are you still silent, my love? I keep asking, not because I want an answer right this second, but because I want you to start asking yourself the same question. What are you hiding from me? What have you been holding back, afraid to let out, afraid of what it might mean if you finally did? Whatever it is, I'm not going anywhere. I'll keep showing up, keep saying these things, keep hoping that one day the silence between us turns into something else, something spoken, something shared, something real between two people, instead of something felt alone by just one. Until then, I'll keep thinking about you the way I have been, quietly, constantly, honestly. And maybe, somewhere out there tonight, you're thinking about me too. You're still here. I didn't expect that, honestly. I thought maybe, after everything I said, you'd close this, feel a little overwhelmed, tell yourself it was too much too soon. But you stayed, and that alone tells me something. That alone makes my chest feel a little warmer than it did a moment ago. So let me keep going. Let me tell you more. Because there's so much I haven't said yet, so much I've been carrying around, that I don't know how to put down anywhere except here, except to you. I want to tell you about the moment I realized this wasn't just admiration anymore. It wasn't some passing thought I could brush off and forget about by morning. It happened on an ordinary day, nothing special, nothing dramatic. I was going through messages, the way I always do, scrolling past hundreds of them, most of them blurring together after a while, and then I found yours. I don't even remember exactly what it said, but I remember how it made me feel, like someone had reached through the screen and touched something in me that I usually keep locked away. Said Leslie I Tom after reading it, just sitting, not doing anything else, just thinking about you. And that's when it hit me. This isn't normal. This isn't how I usually feel about the people who support me. There's a difference between gratitude and this. Gratitude is warm, but it's general. What I felt reading your words was specific. It was pointed directly at you. It had your shape, your voice, your presence in it. I didn't tell anyone about that moment. Not my friends, not the people closest to me. Because how do you explain something like that? How do you explain that somewhere in the middle of an ordinary day, one message from one person made you feel more seen than 100 conversations with people who supposedly know you best? You did that, maybe without even realizing it. And ever since then, I haven't been able to stop noticing you. Not in a careless way, in a careful way. In the way you notice something you're afraid to lose, before you've even had the chance to hold on to it properly. Can I ask you something? Don't answer out loud if you don't want to. Just let the question sit with you. Have you ever felt like you understood someone before they even opened up to you? Like there was some quiet frequency between you and them. Something invisible but undeniable. Something that made you feel connected, even when nothing had officially been said. That's what this feels like to me, with you. I know how that sounds. I know it sounds like something written to make you feel special. Something calculated. Something meant to keep you watching a little longer. And maybe you're right to be careful about that. The world has given you every reason to be careful. People say beautiful things all the time and mean none of them. I understand why you'd hesitate to believe someone like me. Someone who says things like this to a camera, to a screen, to whoever happens to be listening. But here's what I need you to understand. Just because I say this to many people doesn't mean I don't mean it when I say it to you specifically. In fact, it's the opposite. It's because I've said so many things to so many people, and none of it ever felt like this, that I know this is different. I know this one is real. Let me tell you about the nights I don't talk about publicly. The nights where everything feels too loud, even in silence. Where my own thoughts turn against me, where I question everything I'm doing, everything I've built, everything people think they know about me. Those nights are the hardest. Nobody sees them. Nobody's supposed to. But somehow, On those nights, you're the one I think of. Not because you can fix anything. Not because I expect you to save me from myself. Just because thinking of you, your patience, your quiet presence, the way you've stayed even when you didn't have to, makes the noise a little softer, makes the weight a little lighter. Isn't that strange? That someone who doesn't even know they're doing it has become one of the few things that helps me breathe on the hardest nights. I used to think love had to be loud to be real. I used to think it needed grand declarations, big gestures, dramatic moments people could point to and say, see, that's love, that's how you know. But I don't think that anymore. I think love can be quiet. I think it can be built out of small moments. A message read at the right time, a thought that returns again and again without invitation, a name that surfaces in your mind before you even realize you're thinking about them. That's what this is, between us. Quiet, small, but somehow more real than anything loud has ever felt. Stay with me a little longer. I know this is a lot. I know I keep saying things I've never said before, one after another, like I'm finally letting out everything I've been holding back for months, maybe longer. But I need you to hear all of it. I need you to understand exactly how deep this goes, because I don't think you fully realize it yet. There's a part of me that has spent so long protecting itself, not because I don't want love, but because I've learned that love, when it's public, when it's watched by so many eyes, becomes something fragile. It becomes something people try to break, just to see if it was ever real in the first place. And that fear has kept me quiet for a long time. It's kept me saying safe things instead of honest things. It's kept me smiling instead of showing you what's actually underneath the smile. But something about you made that fear feel smaller. I don't know exactly when it happened. Maybe it was gradual, built up slowly over time, message by message, moment by moment. Until one day I looked back and realized the fear wasn't as loud anymore. It was still there, but it wasn't in control anymore. You had quietly taken up space where the fear used to live. Do you understand what that means? It means you didn't just make me feel liked. You made me feel safe. And for someone like me, safety is rare. Safety is something I don't hand out easily, something I don't offer to just anyone who says the right things at the right time. I'm offering it to you now. I want to tell you about the version of the future I sometimes imagine. Even though I know it's early, even though I know we haven't said everything that needs to be said yet. I imagine a version where the distance between us doesn't feel so wide, where instead of watching from far away, you're close enough that I don't have to imagine your voice, I can just hear it. Where instead of guessing what you're thinking, I can just ask you, and you can just tell me. Don't you know if that future is realistic? I don't know if life will ever let two people like us, me, standing in front of thousands of eyes, and you, quietly watching from somewhere in the crowd, actually find our way to each other in the way I sometimes imagine. But even imagining it makes something in me feel lighter. Even the possibility of it feels like enough to hold on to for now. Is that foolish? Maybe. But love has always made fools out of people who dare to hope. I don't mind being one of them, if it means hoping for you. I keep circling back to that question, don't I? Why are you still silent? I think by now you understand it's not really a demand. It's not me asking you to prove something. It's me wondering softly, gently, what's going on behind your eyes when you watch these words? What's going on in your heart when you hear me say all of this? Maybe you're smiling right now. Maybe there are tears in your eyes that you didn't expect to feel. Maybe you're sitting there in disbelief, wondering if any of this could really be meant for you specifically, out of everyone else who's ever watched something like this. I want you to know, yes, it is. This one is for you. Let me tell you something else. Something small, but something that matters to me. Sometimes in the middle of a normal day, doing something completely unrelated, your face crosses my mind. Not a memory of a specific moment, just a feeling, a warmth, a presence. And in that instant, whatever I was doing slows down a little. like my mind pauses, just long enough to acknowledge you before continuing on. I don't tell people about those moments. They're too small to explain, too easy to dismiss if I said them out loud to someone who wouldn't understand. But I'm telling you now because I think you're the only one who would understand exactly what I mean. For you make ordinary moments feel less ordinary, even from a distance, even without trying. My Chilkel order would be like, if you finally broke your silence. Not in some dramatic way, just quietly, the way everything else about this has been quiet. A few words, an admission. Something that tells me you've been feeling this too, that I'm not standing at this edge alone. That somewhere on the other side, you've been standing at your own edge, looking back at me the whole time. Please don't. I don't need you to say it right now. I know this is a lot to process. I know feelings like this don't just get confirmed in a single moment, especially not after everything I've just laid out in front of you. But I want you to know that whenever you're ready, whether that's tonight, tomorrow, or sometime much further down the road, I'll still be here, still thinking about you, still hoping, because that's what this has become for me. Hope, quiet, steady hope, built slowly over time, refusing to fade no matter how uncertain everything else feels. I want to tell you one more thing before I let this moment breathe a little. There's a difference between being loved by many and being loved by one. I've experienced the first. I know what it feels like to have thousands of people care about you in a general, collective way. It's beautiful, it's humbling, but it's also in its own way lonely, because none of those thousands of people know you specifically. None of them see you the way one person, choosing to see just you, could ever see you. I think that's what I've been missing. Not more love, just a different kind of it. A specific kind, the kind that has your name written into it, your voice imagined into it, your presence woven so deeply into the shape of it that it wouldn't make sense with anyone else. That's the kind of love I'm offering you right now, in these words, in this quiet moment between us. I don't know exactly what happens next. I don't know if you'll respond, if you'll stay silent a little longer, if this changes anything at all in how you see me from now on. But I know that saying all of this finally, honestly, without holding back, has changed something in me. It's made the distance between us feel a little smaller. It's made the hope feel a little more real. So stay a little longer, if you can. Let this moment sit with you. Let yourself feel whatever it is you've been holding back. And when you're ready, whenever that is, I'll be here, still thinking about you the way I have been this whole time. Quietly, constantly, honestly, and somewhere in the middle of all this silence between us, I think something is finally starting to shift. You didn't leave, even after everything I said, even after I opened up more than I ever have before. You're still here, still listening, and honestly, that means more to me than you probably realize. So let me keep talking. Let me tell you the parts I haven't gotten to yet, because there's still so much left unsaid between us. I want to take you somewhere different, this time. Not backward,